if I can kind of gauge, I kind of just ask Eleanor. I say, can I have a? Didn't me say. I say, can I have a moment? Eleanor. I know it's not Eleanor, but
Reagan.
now it's Reagan.
Start that choo-choo.
Can you have a moment with me?
Yeah, alone.
Alone? She looks at Amaryl or actually she yells to Esmeralda, and she said, and Esmeralda comes in
Oh,
and
I thought she was in the room with us. Sorry.
Esmeralda. Oh, do you want
Yeah.
Amaryl out or Esmeralda?
Well, I'm both of them out, I guess. Well, it doesn't
Okay.
really matter.
I get up and leave.
She interprets this as you want to speak alone. So she has Esmeralda.
Yeah.
She says, show this one," and points to Amaryl, some of your work.
So
And
I get up
Esmeralda
and
leads you off to like a side room.
So is it just her and I now? I
Yes.
say, Reagan, I'm not gonna lie, I'm extremely worried, like, about your leg. Like it looks like it's moving up. Is that
should I not be hearing this? I don't know how this works.
Oh, you can know this. Just try to make good decisions that would, indicate that you don't know. Okay, go ahead.
can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I say that and I was like, how bad is it, honestly? Do you know? Do you know what's happening?
She says, I couldn't tell you an exact amount of time, but it's going to take my life. I've brought Esmeralda in before she was really necessary to train her so she can take my place. I don't foresee this ending well.
Well, so that's actually, I mean, I don't mean to be bleak, but that's what I was going to ask. We can't afford to. I hate to lose you, but we definitely can't afford to use your knowledge as well. You're the only thing that's keeping this, that gives us a chance, really. And I was wondering if you had somebody else that you had in mind to pass this info to.
Her information?
Yeah.
She says Esmeralda is learning as fast as possible, but I didn't expect this. I don't have her prepared.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't think so. If the only thing I can think that would save my leg is and my life is magic from someone that is more familiar with the dark magic, and I'm just not capable.
I tell her. I tell her about the tiger guy. I say, does this mean anything to you? This ability to shapeshift. Would this be somebody that could help? Possibly. Is this a dark magic?
I don't think it is dark magic, no. But each, and she said, you don't know this word. It's unfamiliar to you. She says each druid makes of their magic in their own way.
I nod as if I know, but I have no idea what she's talking about.
Well, it's always good.
Yes.
It's always good to act as though you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just kind of put my hand on her shoulder and I just say, I'm truly sorry.
She says, "It is not your fault, Corin. I did this to myself with my curiosity and exploration. I will live with my mistakes."
And I hope you continue to live with those. I'll do everything I can to help.
I appreciate it, Corin.
And
No, good.
I was just gonna say, and I say goodbye, and I say I hope to return soon.
She bids you farewell and but remains seated. She's miserable. she's just really miserable. You can see it in her demeanor and her face and her voice.
I feel awkward and I kind of like walk out.
Okay.
What's Esmeralda been showing me this whole time?
Just some of the things that she's being taught by Reagan. They're very, very rudimentary and beginner potions Not even spells. Reagan's not really a spells kind of girl. She's more of a potions lady. And so she's just learning very basic spells. Or shit, potions. Reagan's really going out on a limb with this girl.
She's the infection's getting to her brain.
Yeah.
Mess it up.
So at this point, it is about 8:30, and it's probably best that you guys call it a night, just so Ty can start playing.
Yeah, I agree.
So you
So
guys
I-
leave. Oh, go ahead.
I ask him. I ask Corin, what was that all about?
And I said, we go way back. I just needed the moment alone with her.
Gotcha.
So, I want you to remember what he just said there, okay, Amarillo, and and just keep a. You don't. I don't want to make your emotions for you. I just want you to remember that scene. All right.
Okay.
And then you guys go along to your individual homes, and then about half an hour later, Tarn is done with what he was doing, and he has arrived back where he is currently, and it'll be the next morning. So everybody should be at full health. And I'm also, because you both all have done a spectacular job with the previous sessions, I want you to double your hit points and consider yourself level 2. But for anything skills based, don't add anything yet. Because I'm trying to supplement a lack of additional spells and abilities with magical items to keep it fresh. Everybody good?
So the
Yeah.
only stats that change is hit points.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what's everybody have hit points wise?
24.
22.
30.
Okay.
A man.
Man amongst boys. All right. So the next, it goes to sleep, or shit, the world goes to sleep. It gets dark. Everybody's, the village is quiet. It's nothing's going on. The next morning, the sun rises, and there is a knock at Amaril's door. And real quick, Amaryl, I need only you, to roll a 1d6 for me.
Oh, I'm not prepared. Just give me a second. Because I'm not on roll 20, so I use like a random generation site.
Right.
D6?
Yeah.
4.
Okay. So there's a knock at your door.
Okay, I wake up, and before I answer the door, I look into my seeing eye.
Okay. This time you see the tiger in tiger form sitting atop the mounds, just kind of taking in the morning air, and it's a crisp, cool morning.
I keep looking at it for a couple seconds, and then I get up and... Is there a little hole at the door, or any way I can see who it is before I open it?
That's your house. What do you want?
Yeah, I have a little people.
Okay, I'm going to assume that the ability to not see you looking has not been invented. So they see your eye. but it is it's Arthur.
Oh, I open the door. I say, "Good morning, Arthur."
Hello, Amaryl. Great news. Sonia has been found.
Is she okay?
She is okay. As far as I can tell. And he kind of looks, he says that in kind of an odd way.
I was like, "How so?" Where was she?
Well, I couldn't tell you exactly where the location was, but she was found in a cave. I want you to gather your things. We're going to go get Corin, and I'm going to introduce you to Tarn. He has agreed to go with you on your journey.
Okay, I will be out in a few moments.
Okay, so fast forward, we go to Corin's room, or Corin's house. We knock on the door. Corin.
Hello.
Corin, come out. It's Arthur and Amaryl.
Oh. Oh. I walk out. It's a long time no see.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get to know each other well here.
Yeah, we really are.
And he says, so Sonia has been found, and Tarn has agreed to join you in your journey.
Well, good. It's about time we got some good news.
Yeah, I agree. And then he leads you towards Reagan's hut, and he knocks on the door, and Esmeralda answers again. And he says, Esmeralda, is Tarn here?
Can I remove this?
And she says, yes, let me go get him. And she has this like little smile, this cute little smile on her face. And she goes back to the door to your room, Tarn, and knocks on it. And kind of creaks it open just a little bit and whispers your name and asks if you'll come outside, that Arthur's here.
I sigh really loud. I go, how many times have I told you to not open my door?
She says, I'm sorry, Tarn. But Arthur's here. Will you please speak to him?
All right.
And she walks away from the door.
All right, I put my shirt on, and I walked out to the door.
Okay, and he says, Tarn, I'm sure you recognize Corin, and he gestures towards you, and then he gestures and says, and Amaryl, they have asked for your help in this time of trouble.
Hello, guys. Long time no see.
Oh, how's it
I
going,
just said
Tarn?
it earlier. I said, good to see you. I don't really know him that well.
I go, right. All right, so where are we off to, Arthur?
He says, would you guys like to, where would you guys like to go? Is there anyone, did you have any plans set up for today?
Well, gentlemen, do you guys have any plans?
Do you think Sona saw anything while she was lost?
Well, I'm gonna have to come out forthright with you guys right here. She got a little weird. I clocked her in the forehead and knocked her out. So she didn't really see a whole lot coming back through the village or through the forest and across the lake. However, there was some weird. Say what?
You found her?
Yeah, I found her. Me, no big deals. Whatever. I just do heroic stuff. But there was some whispering in the forest. I kind of wanted to go see what's going on about that. Just telling me secrets and stuff.
Well, we saw a tiger change into a man and some weird,
On Logan Island.
and Ariel threw up snakes. So I kind of wanted to see more about that.
Oh, it's kind of weird that they shift shape into animals. That's really weird.
Yeah, that tiger that's always been there. It's a guy. Who would have known?
Yeah.
Did you see anything while you were in the forest?
Not a whole lot. But other than the voice on my way back, that was basically it. There was footprints coming to the cave, out of the water, back to the water.
You didn't happen to see any dark magic wielders, did you?
No. I did see a mirror that shattered across the wall that had an eyeball. But, yeah.
An eyeball?
Yeah, it was just an eyeball, and I told him I could see him, and he didn't really appreciate my pun, so I shattered and he went away, and I shattered the mirror, so I can get Sonya out. This is before I clocked her and knocked her out.
Sounds like you had quite a day.
Woman, right?
I guess, if you're into beating women, I suppose.
Were they
what about you guys?
Were they human footprints? Really quick.
They're humanoid.
Humanoid? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we talked to Horace and we got a boat and went over to the island. And we
both have boats?
We got 2 boats?
Oh, what a waste.
Oh god.
There's three of us. Someone's gonna have to go by themselves. It's gonna be weird. We gotta choose.
I will row in the middle. I'll be a sandwich between you two.
In one
Oh.
boat.
We'll,
One boat.
we'll figure
I
it out.
can't even
later.
run behind right now because I don't have my shoes.
What happened to your shoes?
Oh, I'm letting Reagan looking at him. You know Reagan, right? Pretty well.
You're in her hut right now.
She's my adopted mother. She raised me.
Well, then I basically say I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but I guess I would know that.
Just a little. You're very. This is a peculiar guy. He's a bit. It's not that he's weird. It's just he's never really been all that involved with the village.
And I say, well, then you know more than anybody that we need to find a way to help Reagan. I was like, we need to find somebody that has knowledge of magic. That's her only shot. And
Yeah, but what about your slippers? You still haven't answered that question. You kind of skirted it.
you let me worry about my slippers.
I suppose that's none of my business. You're absolutely
You're
right.
goddamn right.
So as I was saying, we went to the island and we were looking around for a little bit. So we saw a little, like a quicksand pit, but it was
I can't hear it.
Can
Can you hear us, Drew?
Okay, I
Yeah.
lost you guys there for a second.
okay. We were looking around the island and we found like a pit of quicksand, but it seemed to have some magical properties. Like we couldn't pull anything out of it, so it wasn't completely like normal quicksand.
That sounds like normal quicksand to me.
You can pull stuff out of quicksand, but that's besides the point. So then we continued forward, and then I got hit by some darts, and then I started throwing up some snakes.
Who hit you with darts?
We don't know. I think it might have been a trap. We didn't see anyone.
Was it the tiger?
I didn't see the tiger at that time.
I think we need to talk to Tiger Man.
And then we had to fight the snakes, and then we were all kind of winded after that. There was 5 of them, and they were pretty big snakes,
They were big snakes.
like 6 feet.
I have like the most unimpressed look on my face.
Well, these were stomach snakes, to be fair. And when snakes come out of stomachs, they're even angrier. It's a bad situation.
Who knows
I'm
how
kinda
long
like-
they've been in there?
Kind of like drawing like circles with my foot on the sand at this point.
And then
I'm like really defensive. No, they were big.
and then
All right, I get. Okay, they're just big snakes, I guess. Whatever. All right.
And then I put my seeing eye coin on one of the trees, and then we left the island. And when I was looking through the coin, I saw the tiger transform into a man.
Tiger Man.
Oh, Tiger Man, that's original. All right. So you said you would want to go see, speak with said Tiger Man.
I think Tiger Man. We need to talk to Tiger Man to see if he can. I don't know. Like, well, first of all, this tiger's been looking at us for years and years and years. So what's up with that? What's up with that? And then we need to also. I feel like he's our best shot with Reagan. We got to do something there. And I don't know. He's another magic user. I'm not gonna lie. This whole magic thing goes way above my head. So seems
Yeah,
like he
mine
knows
too.
something.
I look around
So-
like this.
And so I think that's where we should go first, in my opinion.
What do you think, Arthur?
He says, "Gentlemen, I must go speak with Lily. I would like to see if Sonia's behavior has changed. You guys can do whatever you would like. I'm unfamiliar with where you have been and what you have seen."
Well, we'll meet up with you later, Arthur, and we can talk about things.
Okay. And he kind of heads off away from the group and bids you farewell and good luck, and he heads off towards where you know is Lily Deep Pocket's house, because she has the nicest house.
Alright, so it looks like I'm stuck with you weirdos now.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You're
Alright.
all just for everyone's heads up. You're all elves. Everyone's an elf.
Let's good. So
Well-
one of us is gonna have to give up a boat. So we gotta establish whose boat we're gonna be taking. I pulled mine out of the water.
We
I've-
also pulled ours out of water.
I feel like we should just. I feel like we're going to make more than one trip across this water. Let's just.
We should take 2 boats in case something happens to one of them.
Well, but yeah, but then we're putting 2 boats through all that corrosion, and we're going to go through.
Well, if you went and got your magic slippers from Reagan, we could be okay with 1 boat, because if that breaks, then you could walk back and get us a new boat.
So about these slippers. You keep
They're
bringing them up.
sandals.
Did we forget that he can walk on water with them? Did we not mention that?
No, that's what I've been trying to get at.
I look at Emerald like as if he wasn't supposed to say anything.
Oh, so you got some Jesus Christ slippers, huh?
Who's Jesus Christ?
Who? The guy
Who?
the guy in the house next door?
Oh, you mean
Oh, right.
Jesus?
All right,
The gardener.
I keep calling them slippers now. My sandals, my man sandals,
Mandels.
my mandals, and I take them back from Reagan. I said, I'm going to take these back. Hope you got what you needed out
She's
of it.
asleep. It's still early.
Oh, I go, I hope you done it. You got everything you need from these. I whispered in her
Esmeralda
direction.
has been studying and listening. She goes, she didn't look at them. It was last night.
I say, well, I'll bring them back later.
She said,
And I put 'em on.
I'll let her know.
Alright, so let's go do this island thing. Meet this tiger. That
Hey,
Tiger
Tarn.
Man.
Tarn, did
Yeah,
Arthur by chance give you any items?
what's it to you?
Well, we need to know what's in our arsenal if we're going to be working together here.
How about we leave it at a need to know basis? You guys didn't tell me
Wait,
about
I
these
told you
sandals.
about my slippers. You tell me what you got.
You didn't tell me anything about your slippers.
I told
Emerald
you.
did.
I told you about the eye as well.
I'll tell Emerald one secret. Pick a
Whatever you
number
can say to him, you can say to me.
Nope. Emerald only. You won't share your secrets. I won't share mine.
I'll tell you my other secret if you tell me a secret.
Alright, let's all just share secrets right now.
Yeah, everybody on 3.
But- Okay, I have a cute little cloak that allows me to hide in the shadows. And I'm also
Oh.
able to jump to another shadow if I see it, if it's within 50 feet.
Wow.
I also have this potion that allows me to talk to Flora. My
The flora.
yeah, like flowers, plants, I don't
Talk
know
to
what-
flowers.
Yeah, and I'm supposed
What
to
kind of
talk to
magic
flowers.
is that?
It's a potion that Reagan made for me, and my other one is I have what I like to call ghost dagger, and it ignores a lot of their armor, and I could stab them. It's really really thin.
Mm.
Now I shared my secrets. Now tell me your secrets.
I'll go next. I have an invisible dagger.
Wow.
You only see the handle. The 3-inch blade is invisible.
And I also have the spying eye, which I can leave on anywhere. It will stick to any surface, and I can go like this, and I hold it up, and I look into it as I do that.
That's pretty cool.
Do I see anything when I look into it?
You go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
So you see the tiger turn towards where the coin is located, and keep in mind well, I guess I'm not going to tell you. You keep in mind. He's looking past the coin though, and then he takes off Well, it's not that he takes off. He just kind of stands up as if he senses something in that direction.
Oh, the tiger's still there. And I also have a potion, but it allows me to breathe underwater for 1 hour. And I can use it up to 4 times.
All right. Well, I guess I'll tell you my stuff too. I got those sneakers that let me walk on water, and they haven't taken any damage. I don't know how much you know about the water, but the water's causing a lot of damage. Doesn't take any damage. Lets me walk in the water. Then I have a drafted great courage. Don't know what that does. Then I have some magic daggers. Don't really know what exactly they do yet either.
They were darts.
I think
they?
they're darts.
Oh, they're darts?
Yeah. You have 4 darts.
Oh, I wrote down daggers. Whoops. Darts. So they're like a blow dart thing? Are they blow darts?
No, not a blow dart. We'll call them blow darts. That seems like what you want. Blow darts it is. So you have like a little thing that you can load it into.
Okay.
So what I'm getting from here is it looks like me and Amaryl are going to be doing the dirty work while you're standing in the back, blowing bubbles at the enemies.
From the middle of the water.
Sounds
Middle
good.
of water.
Sounds good to me. Let's get to it.
Corin is quite a bit older than you two. Amaryl and Tarn are in their 20s, and Corin, from what I could gather last time, you're probably close to late 30s or maybe early 40s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
Oh,
you're being a little young dickhead. Keep up, old man.
If I was a little faster, I'd go over there and teach you a lesson.
Needs a magic cane. Yeah, what's the life expectancy on this town?
Most people don't live past 60.
Okay, that's not too bad.
How's it feel to be through 2/3 of your life, old man?
How does it feel to be one dart away from the end of your life, young whippersnapper?
Man, Corn, I don't know how to recover from that, so we might as well just get to this island.
So we need to get to the boats, right?
Yeah.
I
You
start
see my
walking-
cats in the background right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like the Titanic scene. Oh. Alright,
I start walking towards the boats.
I follow.
Same.
Okay. So you get to Corin's house, or I guess his establishment / house. He lives there. And do you go to his door, or do you just go to your boats?
Oh, let's stop and talk to Horace.
He talks a lot. Let's skip over.
He might know something about the water, though.
Horace seems like the type of guy that only knows what kind of wood the boats are made out of, if you get my drift.
Like driftwood.
I just kind of like shake my head. And I
Yeah,
start walk. I try to like start.
Let's get to the
Push it.
boats.
I push my boat into the water.
So when you arrive in the backyard, there's one boat on the dock and one boat up on the like the land by the lake. You guys should know which is which, I guess.
I say, all right, let's go to my boat.
Okay.
Alright.
I get behind the shed and grab my oars.
Okay.
We have a human motorboat. We don't need
Yep.
oars.
Yeah,
Corin just goes.
yeah.
I don't know why, but I was thinking it's going. All right. I'm gonna.
I think we-
It's all good and all. I think we should just use the oars instead of possibly ruining some of your guys' equipment
I
from this water.
grab the oars and get into the boat without touching
Alright.
the water. Without touching the water.
I carefully get in position. I'm going to give us another running start
All
or a
right.
push with my sandals. Are we in the water now?
I don't know. What are you guys at?
Splash.
You've
All
dropped
right.
the boat down in.
I say, be careful. I'm standing on this water here. Don't get me wet.
I look at Emerald and I kind of give him a wink. And I take my oar and like a little splash at him. At Corin. I was like, oh whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
Like so little, there's no chance it hit him.
Just a little bit, like startle him.
Okay. How do you react, Corin?
I go, oh, what the? And I say, I just give him like a really dirty look. And I say, boy.
I have like a little smirk on. It's like,
And then I just start pushing. I just shake it off and start pushing him.
Okay. So.
And then I get in
All right.
carefully.
All right. The three of you are in. You have 2 benches. So how are you positioned in the boat?
I'm towards the front.
On the front bench. What about you
Yeah.
two? Besties.
I'll be on the front. I'll be in the front bench as well.
Okay, and then Corin jumped in and got onto the back of
Yeah.
the bench by himself. Okay, and who's using the oars?
I am.
Both of them, or are you going to share them since you're on the same bench?
I'll share one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So where are you heading? You're again where you've just come from is towards the northern part of this lake, and the island is towards the southern part.
We are rowing towards the island.
Okay. Nothing eventful happens on the water as you're going. At this point, you're about halfway to it. Does anybody want to do anything before we get closer?
So you guys heard any good rumors in the village?
I just say, watch out for shadow figures in this water. That's all I'm going to say.
Shadow figures. Are you superstitious, old man?
Once you've been around as long as I have, you'll see a thing or two, is all I'm going to say. I've seen an action last day.
Have you seen a woman?
I've seen many women in my days, actually.
Okay.
But I don't, no one recently that I can think of.
Watch out. I'd like nudge. Like what you might want to watch out.
Hey, this kitty.
So now you are 3/4 of the way there. Do you want to do anything?
Can we do a perception check?
Sure.
Who has a high perception?
Yeah, let's just have one person do this.
I have a really high intuition, or intelligence, whatever you guys want to say.
Yeah, you just do it then, I say.
I'm good at perception.
All right.
I have a modifier of 5, and I rolled a 9, so 14.
We have a 20 in it. Oh, perception. Okay.
So Amaryl, it dawns on you to look through your coin.
I looked through my coin.
Okay, so when you look through, now the tiger is still he's like really alert at this point, and you see him like sprint towards where the coin is. Like he takes off like fast tiger running shit.
And he just kind of goes past the coin.
Well, yes, he just goes right past where the coin is, and then everyone else on the boat, including Amaryl, technically, sees birds fly up from the trees on the island.
I look up. I say, something's not right.
Well, go on.
Did you
Tigers.
say- oh, go ahead.
The tiger's been acting strange, and he just took off running.
How does a tiger act normal though?
Yeah.
Well, he's a person, so
I suppose that's true.
Tiger Man.
So what should we do?
Let's
I
go.
think we
Let's
just-
go yell for him. See if we
Are
can
you
talk to
guys
him.
getting closer to the island?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
don't-
you guys are close enough to the island at this point where you look off to the, what would that be? The east, towards the forest side, and you see the figure again going down into, like, walking. It doesn't seem to be scared or anything. It's just walking, and it walks right into the lake again.
From the
I
island
hit-
or
I
from the
hit-
shore?
From what?
From the island or from the main the
From the
land?
island. From the island.
I hit Tarn back in the back of the shoulder, and I just point. I don't know if he's already looking, but I point at the figure.
Said, oh, thank you. Guys, look over there real fast. We're close enough to the island, right?
Yeah. Well, to do what? To see this?
Jump
To jump.
onto
You
the
guys
land.
are not close enough to jump onto the island yet, no.
Okay.
And then seconds later, you see the tiger come out of the tree line to the east and like run full speed, but then stop at the water because he's like too late. The tiger's too late.
All right. So how?
That is weird.
All right, guys, we need to get to the island. Stat.
I get out and start pushing.
Okay. And you
Eh.
guys arrive on the shore. Nothing else has happened at this point. But the
Get out of-
tiger, when the tiger sees you, well, I'm gonna say it does not see you, but it starts heading back towards the trees.
Let's
Should we
take,
call out for
guys.
it?
Look away for a second.
Why?
Look away.
I'm puzzled, but I kind of like look away
I
a little
turn
bit.
my head.
And I transform into a tiger too.
Okay.
Is it okay to look?
What the?
Guys, I have a confession to make.
So
I'm
you
a
can't-
druid.
I
I'd
don't
say
think,
yes,
I don't
something
think you
to
can
confess.
talk as a tiger.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm like, what the? You were a tiger man the whole time.
I just like shake my head.
This is 100% coincidental. I didn't mention the guy on the island to tie at all. He just picked to be a druid.
How have you been? You were a tiger man. Oh my god! I'm
I'm
just like
sorry.
flabbergasted.
I start
fiddlestick.
walking towards the where the tiger went.
I ask.
And I like
Can ti-
motion
can
with my
tiger-
tail with him to come with me.
And I look at Emerald like, what is going on?
And I just kind of, I shrug at him, and we just kind of start walking after the.
So
Tiger
do you
doesn't
guys walk where the tiger... So not Tarn. Corin and Amaryl are, I would say, fairly familiar with the layout of the island. And I can answer questions if you don't remember it, but Tarn has not been on the island before.
I ask.
So where exactly are you guys heading?
I ask Tarn.
Well,
do you know
Tarn
where
seemed
you're
to know
going?
where he was going, so I follow.
I ask Tarn if he knows where he's going.
I kind of just like walk around, like saunter a little bit, and kind of give like that little shrug.
I say, let's go around to the far side of the island where there's that where we went last time.
Then it worked out so well for us last time.
Well, we do have a tiger with us this time if we want to mix things up.
That's true. That's true.
So do you guys want to travel east towards where the incident just occurred with the figure walking into the water, or do you want to go the west route that you went last time?
I think we should go investigate the east.
I start walking towards that direction.
I follow him.
Corin?
Yep, I'm with him.
Okay. So it takes you about a quarter or a quadrant to get to where this location has occurred. It's maybe a 15-minute walk. And you're there now. Go ahead. And you're there. I don't want to give you too much info. If you want to perceive things, you're welcome to.
Can I do a perception check again?
Yes. On this occasion, I will let everyone roll because there's, it's an entire island, and I would think you're all looking, except for Tarn. He can't do it in tiger form. No, you can, Ty. You just can't, or Tarn. You just can't relay the info.
16.
17.
I got a 15.
Oh, nice. Okay. So I need some part of the island or lake that each of you are trying to perceive something about.
I'm trying to see if there's anything near the shore, like where the shadowy figure disappeared.
Okay. Corin?
I'm looking up towards the trees.
Okay, and Tarn.
I am just like staring in the water.
Meows only. No, just kidding. Corin, you recognize that you are you've basically taken a shorter route to almost the same exact area as the original route around the west. So it's like you went 3/4 the first time, 1/4 this time, and you're basically in the same general area. You can see how the trees have thinned out a little bit in this particular area of the lake. Amaryl, you just notice footprints, humanoid footprints leading into the water. There's no real sign of anything else, and you also see the tiger prints, both the original and Tarn's. And Tarn, in your tiger little brain there, you recognize the humanoid footprints.
It's like, what is it, boy?
Kind of like point my head at the footprints.
How I try to compare that humanoid footprints with my footprints.
It has 3 toes rather than 5, but they still look like humanoid size. They're smaller than yours, but not a whole lot. And it doesn't seem as though there's a shoe print. It's more of a foot to ground print.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out of tiger form.
Okay.
I'm fucking like a potato at this point. So I like stretch out like this, and I go back into my human form.
Okay.
And I say, "What was that?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Why can't I do
Tiger,
it?
you're Tiger Man.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Do you know this tiger man?
I do not.
How long have you been able to do that?
Do you speak tiger?
I can speak Druid. It's we have our own language.
Oh, okay. That might come in.
Druid, what is Druid?
So we were kind of take magic that is like rooted in nature. Excuse the pun.
Oh, you're a
And-
magic man?
Yes.
I knew I got a funny feeling about you.
We needed a magic man in the group.
That magic makes me a little nervous. I just don't know how I feel about this.
Well,
Magic control.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, old man. It is what it is. We're on a venture now. You're kind of an old creepy guy. I'm a young druid
Stallion.
in my prime. DTF 24/7.
Just know that I've got my eye on you.
I'm sure you do.
And not one of those fancy all-seeing eyes either. These good old eyes.
Speaking of eyes,
They still see y'all.
I look into my thing, Mike.
You don't see anything.
Well, he's not on the hills, so he must be somewhere else.
Should we call for him? See if he'll come talk to us?
Speak
Well,
to it.
I think we might startle him, but we can get close. and I
Where's he
could
gonna
turn
go?
into-
We're on this tiny island.
Yeah, but he still could attack us, and he could be alarmed. So
Well,
let's walk close, and when we get
then we're
closer,
gonna scare him if we're closer.
I'll
Watch.
turn
If we
into a
yell-
tiger.
Watch out for traps.
Yes.
Right
I'm gonna-
now, Amaryl, you start to feel extremely nauseous. And it's... Huh?
I don't feel too good.
It is the same exact feeling you felt yesterday. The day before. And you start to keel over and you start to puke again.
What the hell's going on with him?
And
I told the snakes.
snakes are coming out again.
I say, stab him quick. Stab him quick.
The fuck?
I take out. I think I have a sword or something. I don't know, but I just want to roll for. Can we roll for initiative? I want to start stabbing
Yeah,
these
everyone
snakes.
roll for initiative.
I got a 9.
I got 11.
9,
5.
11, and 5. I
Um,
know
Plus my
this doesn't.
disadvantage.
This may
Okay,
not.
okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Disadvantage. I need you to roll disadvantage again.
Is it another d20? Is it
Yeah,
another-
it's the same.
I
I
got an 18 on that one.
Okay, so we're gonna count your 5 then. But ridiculously, you all are still ahead of me. So we're gonna start with Tarn.
Alright. So I'm gonna pull
Real-
out my
real
dagger.
quick. I only have about 5 to 10 minutes left, and I'm going to get off. So
Okay.
go ahead.
Pull out
man.
my dagger, and I go and shove it in between the snake's eyes.
Roll an attack.
Right. Rolled a 12. And I do 4 damage.
So you actually are not able to hit it for full damage. You stab at it. Like how exactly do you stab or go at it?
Straight on, try to get it in between its eyes.
Okay. I'm going to have it do a dexterity saving throw. You manage to hit it for enough, and what happens when you hit this snake is it bursts into ashes, and the ashes just kind of fall to the sandy ground below.
What the fuck is going on, guys?
Corin.
All right, I guess I have a scimitar, which I don't really know what that is.
It's a curved blade.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to attack with that.
Okay.
I got a 17 plus 3, or plus 4. I mean 21.
That is definitely a hit.
For let's see, 1d6, 3 plus 3 slashing. I don't know if we add the extra, but
Yeah. So
so
how
6.
do you attack it?
Well, I guess the curved blade. I'm just gonna try. If it's standing up, I'm just gonna try to cut its head off, basically, with a swipe.
Okay, and you manage to do so, and it just it comes apart. Actually, it doesn't even come apart. When you hit it, it just instantly all of it turns to ash. And again, just kind
I
of
say,
ash.
just hit him.
Amaryl, you are in a situation where you are still puking. You have one more snake coming out. There's one on the ground, one coming out. So you don't have an attack this round.
Okay.
It's like, so the one snake that is still, or that is already on the ground, it kind of sees what's happening, and it looks a little startled, but then it comes back to like an aggressive look, and it comes after Corin. So it rolls a natural 20. So Corin, it attacks your left leg and bites and simultaneously constricts. And
Okay.
it's latched onto you, and you can feel it squeezing real tight around your leg. Tarn.
So I take any damage?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I forgot to roll it.
You don't say anything.
Yeah.
1 second. It does. Okay. It does 5 damage. And you again feel the nausea. Oh, I'm sorry. You have to do a Constitution saving throw.
Um, 9.
So you actually feel very sick very quickly, and it kind of knocks you off your feet. You drop to the ground.
Okay.
Oh, great. My entire party is either yakking or potentially about to yak again.
The last snake has been fully puked, and you start to feel perfectly fine, just like last time, Amara.
My turn.
I think it's Tarn.
I'm gonna go after the snake that just hurt Corin,
Okay.
and I am going to stab it. I'm gonna try to get in like a head, like pierce across the head and skewer it. I rolled a 14 and a 7.
Okay, so the instant you make contact, what weapon are you using?
A dagger.
The ghost dagger or a regular one?
Ghost dagger.
So it pierces through this snake real easily, real smoothly. It bursts into ashes, and you actually poke into Corin's leg because there's no resistance. It's 1d8, and you said 7. 3 damage, Corin.
Corin, I apologize, but
Ouch.
you gotta get that snake off you, buddy.
I think there's better ways
You win some.
than to stab me.
Over to you, Amarillo. There's one on the ground.
As I'm throwing
I guess
out,
technically, I'm sorry. It's technically Corin's turn.
I mean, can I do anything, or am I sick?
When you're prone and sick, you probably shouldn't be able to do anything without disadvantage. So you can try something.
I just try to get back to my feet then in defensive position.
Okay, the highest you can get is on all fours. You're so overwhelmed with this feeling of sickness.
Okay.
Amara.
as I'm throwing up, I try to reach for my normal dagger, and I pull it out. And as I'm done throwing up, I take a swing, trying to cut the snake in half. That just came out. And is the attack bonus what you had to hitting?
Yeah.
15.
That's a hit. And your attack die.
D4 plus 1. So I did 4.
Okay. So you swipe at it and hit right around, it's up like this, and you swipe through it and it bursts into ashes again. And that should be all of them.
I roll over onto my side and just kind of breathe through a little bit.
And I say, fucking snakes. As I'm on all fours.
I was like, that's my bad, guys. I don't know what happened there. How's
Well,
the leg, Corin?
I say, Magic Man, what happened?
well, I'm not exactly sure why you just started throwing up snakes. Can you guys give me some background on how this happened initially?
I told you I got hit by some darts, and I started throwing up immediately after I got hit. But this time, I don't think I got hit by anything this time.
So these darts, they had magical properties. Make you throw up snakes. That's kind of odd. Have you told Reagan about this?
Doesn't feel good. No.
Don't you think you should have?
wasn't a priority. I didn't think this would
I mean,
happen
we
again.
just had I just stabbed Cora in the leg because she threw up some snakes, and you didn't think it was a priority.
I think you did that on your own fault.
Right, because I was gonna stab him to begin with. Anyways, how are you feeling, Corin?
I've been better. I've been better.
I kind of like, as soon as he starts talking, I kind of turn my head away. It was more of like a courtesy rhetorical question. So
Am I feeling better now?
Yeah, you feel fine once as soon as you puked the last one.
so how do you feel, Amaral? Gonna puke out any more snakes?
I feel great. I needed to get that out.
Well, I hope
Alright.
you feel good. I'm getting tired of getting bit by your stupid vomit snakes.
Yeah, like Corin's the only one that's been bit so far.
Yeah,
Both times.
every time.
Well, I guess do we want to go find the tiger?
Can you walk, Corin?
I think so. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Well, let's answer that again in just a second. Do you need to go?
Yeah, honestly, I probably need to get out of here.
So
You
why
guys can
don't
keep.
we set up a plan where he can't walk real easily because he still feels sick, and you guys leave him somewhere.
Alright, we're gonna leave you right here, Corin.
Just
Can you take me to the boat, maybe?
no, we'll leave you out in the
That's
open.
a really
There's
far
some-
walk. I mean,
let's use
you're
some
kinda-
bait for the tiger man.
you're kind of weighing us down at this point.
I said, okay, I'll wait here.
Alright. Well,
I pull out my little blow dart. Get ready to shoot anything.
on multiple occasions, you guys have seen the figure come out of this area.
I think this is
That's
really
true.
safe.
That's true. I say, I really insist that you take me back to the boat. I think you owe me this,
We're
at
on
least for throwing
I
up
think-
snakes twice.
He is your duty. I think it's your day to watch him. So,
I thought
Guess,
you had him on the weekends.
well, first off, you don't even know me.
So we agreeing that you'll work together to take him back to the boat.
I go in
Yeah.
tiger form, and I like put him on my back, and I walk.
I'll put
So-
him on his back so he doesn't hurt him.
Okay.
Alright.
Alrighty. So you guys have arrived back at the boat. Is there any particular strategy of or tactic or anything that you need to put in place before you totally leave him?
Alright, you got your I turned back into a human at this, or elf again. It's like, you got your blow dart?
Got her.
Alright, he's good, guys.
All
He's
right.
really,
I'm
he's
gonna
really
get-
wait. What?
I'll go ahead.
Nothing.
I was gonna say, thanks, guys. I'm gonna get off here though. I gotta go catch up.
All right.
Later, Gator.
Bye.
Later.
See you guys. Thanks. That was fun. Later.
That's it. All right. Where would you guys like to head?
Alright.
let's
Alright,
go
now that we ditched the old man, us young bucks can go do the fun stuff.
The old bull can't keep up.
That's right. Do you want to go visit Tiger Man?
Yeah, let's go back this way, and I lead him back to the thinning in the trees.
Are you gonna throw up snakes again? It's just me this time.
How do I feel? Do I stuff?
Are you
Okay.
asking me?
I was asking our lovely.
Oh,
You
That's-
feel fine.
I feel fine, and I just keep walking towards the thinning in the trees. And as I'm doing that, I'm looking at my thing.
I turned back into a tiger.
You still
Transform.
don't, you still don't notice any, or you still don't see anything through the coin.
And I say to the tiger, he's not there, so keep an eye out.
I'm a sassy cat now, so I act like I don't even care. I'm just like
There.
go back and forth. Okay, so are we walking to?
Yeah, we're walking towards the thinning in the trees. Do we see anything?
You don't notice anything. And
How close are we to my eye?
You are where you're about. I mean, are you going towards the thinning of the tree at this point?
Yes.
So you are on the east side of the sand pit. The coin is on the trees that separate the sand pit and the mounds, so you are the distance of the sand pit away from the coin.
Well, here's the sand pit we were talking about earlier. And I kind of keep looking around for the tiger. That's
I-
not the one right in front of me.
I put 1 foot up on a rock beside me. I put my head back and I roar really loud.
Okay.
Roar.
Birds flutter up out of the trees. You don't
Wait.
you don't see an instant reaction from from the tiger, but it was definitely loud enough to be heard across the island.
I put my paw up like this to him.
Back at the boat, Corin is petrified.
He has pissed himself.
And what were you about to do?
I put my paw up towards Amaryl to like emotion, like wait.
And I kind of take a few steps back towards the thicker trees.
So directly across the sand pit, which is probably 100 feet wide, let's say 50 feet wide, the tiger emerges from the thin line of trees that you had walked through last time, Amaryl, and just kind of stops at the edge of the sand pit across from you.
I want to walk to the other edge of it.
So you start to circle around it?
No, I'm like directly across from him.
Yeah, you currently are. He has emerged directly across from you.
I'm going to stare at him.
He just stares back.
Can he see me or am I kind of hidden?
No, he can see you. He didn't say anything that you were hidden or anything. So
Okay,
he can see it.
Alright, I get back to human form, but I make a really dramatic transformation this time to show that I am also a druid.
And you don't notice any kind of acknowledgement of that, but it's clear as day that he saw you.
Alright, Amaryl.
I say, we know you're a druid as well.
Do you yell that? I mean, is 50 feet far enough that you're going to need to be yelling this?
Considering my voice, I'd say so.
And your microphone, like Amaryl's holding this mic, but it's like really quiet.
Amaryl, put your mic in your mouth.
So you yell it, but all he sees is he's like, he puts up a ball and he's like, "What are you doing?" So you yell it to him.
Yes.
Okay.
I make it so he can hear me.
He does not. He doesn't like transform or anything. He just starts to like walk back and forth along the edge of the sand pit.
I take a few steps closer to the edge of the sand pit next to Tarn.
Alright, Amaryl. Obviously, this guy is not impressed by anything. Probably the only thing, the way to press him, put blood and guts all over his face.
Not
But
ours,
we'll
though.
walk
Not ours,
through-
though, right?
We're not gonna get to that extreme. Let's just walk around and let's get to his side.
As I'm walking over, I grab the hilt of my invisible dagger.
Do you guys walk together around one side or separate and go both ways?
We stay together.
Alright, we'll stay together.
And you're in human form or elf form? Tarn? Okay. So he actually begins to walk towards you. The same direction, same side of the sand pit. And it doesn't appear as though he has any intention of stopping. Do you continue?
No, we can't show weakness.
We keep walking. We've committed.
Okay. So at this point, you're about 20 feet apart, and he just morphs into his human form and stands in front of you, about 20 feet away. He stopped walking at this point.
I take a few more steps and then stop, so we're like 10 feet apart.
Okay. And he says, "Why are you on my island?"
Well, first off, let's get this very clear. Make it very clear, even. This isn't your island. You just happen to be on here.
This is my island. You know nothing of this island.
Well, why don't you enlighten me? Tell me a little bit about this island, why it makes it yours.
I was here at the creation of this island.
Oh, really? So how old are you then?
I am older than you ever wish to be, young boy.
Alright.
Do you know of why the lake is changing, becoming deadly?
No. He says no. He says, all I know is that this is dark magic of some sort.
Have you been watching us from afar?
I have had eyes on your village for years.
Tell us about this man that keeps walking in and out of the water.
I don't believe it is a man. I believe it is a woman, but I have not caught a glimpse, like a true glimpse of it or her.
That is essentially all that we get as well.
So, I'm just gonna be level with you here, Tiger Man. What's your name? So I don't keep calling you Tiger Man.
Unless you like Tiger Man.
Xonar. What is your name?
My name's Tarn.
That's
Let's see,
spelled
so-
with an X, not a Z.
Xonar Tiger Man.
Yes, that is my last name.
I am Amaryl.
He says, I didn't ask you, but thank you. No, I'm kidding. He says, what is your, he says, Tarn. I see that you are also a druid. And he kind of asks in a question type manner.
Yeah, I have been training. Since you've been spying on our village, you're aware of Reagan. She has made pilgrimages to the Enchanted Forest. I'm sure you guys probably cross paths at some point. She's been training me. I've also chosen to take a tiger form.
He says, I saw that. Great choice. I like you, Tarn.
Thank you, Xonar.
He says a message to you in a druidic language that Amaryl doesn't recognize.
I kind of glance at Tarn.
So what he says, Tarn, is he asks, can this man be trusted?
I'm gonna reply with, I have just recently joined this team. I'm not exactly sure. This kid just threw up a bunch of snakes. So I don't know if he's competent or if he's cursed or what's up, but I'm stuck with him.
Xonar turns to you, Amaryl, and he says, I apologize for my darts.
Oh yeah, those are a doozy.
He says, have you cured yourself?
How can I do that? I have not cured myself.
He says, the darts will continue to take effect once a day at random times if you don't heal yourself.
Well, how would I heal myself?
You'll need some sort of magical potion to take care of it.
Do you happen to have?
I do not. I don't keep it on me because I don't want anyone to be able to get it if they get hit with the darts here. And then he says, oh fuck, it just slipped my mind. What does he say? Oh, he says, it is also very important that you do not let any of the snakes complete the whole process that they are trying to accomplish.
What do you know? What process it is?
They will bite, and then they will constrict, and then they will burrow within the hole that they have created. Do not let that burrowing happen.
Pretty grotesque if you ask me, but that's pretty cool dart spell you learned there,
Why do you have all those
Xonar.
darts on the island?
I want to. Well, he says for two things. First, he says, I've always had some protection because I'm here on this island alone and very seldom leave. And two, there have been multiple odd things happening. I have buffed up my, he says security, or my security in the last few weeks.
I use my druidic tongue
Okay.
and ask him, "Is this related to the woman that goes in the water?"
And he responds back to you and says, so remember, Amarillo, you kind of have to assume that you don't know this stuff. And he says, so he looks back at you in the druidic tongue and says, some of it, I believe, has to do with her, but there is something else that has occurred on my island.
What is it? Is it something that we should be concerned about?
I do not know exactly what to think of it, Tarn, but an invisible presence. I felt an invisible presence on the island recently.
That would probably be the Amaril's little far-seeing eye. He's had it spying on you. Kind of messed up if you ask me, but
He's so he looks at Amarillo. He looks at Amarillo and he says, "You're spying on me?"
Well, spying is a strong word.
And he says, "When did you start spying on me?"
Yesterday.
And he looks back at you, but he says it in common, but he looks at Tarn and he says, I felt this presence in my hut and on this island before yesterday.
alright, I gotta start speaking in common now. About this person that that's been walking in and out. Do you feel like she is a threat that we should probably take care of? Do you think she might be the evil one casting all this dark magic on the water?
He says, I would be surprised if she doesn't have some type of connection to recent developments. This sand pit, and he kind of gestures and over, to his right. He says, "This has not been here. This has not always been here. This is new to the island."
We've noticed that it has some unusual properties.
And he says, "Yes, I have not tampered with it other than to check its qualities as well."
This is the quicksand that you guys were telling me about?
Yeah, that's the sand. You're standing right beside it, Tarn.
Okay.
It's the giant 50-foot pit.
So, I turn to Amaral and I say, I think we need to take care of this person. This person kidnapped Sonia and is causing a lot of mischief on this island in the surrounding area. So,
I asked Xonar, do you notice any patterns in what she does?
I have not caught her on the island. She comes at different hours, different times of day. I don't even know for sure how many times she has been here.
Does she usually come in the same area?
The 2 times that I have just missed her, she has come from this area, and he points back where you guys just saw it all happen. But he says, I could not tell you if she has been on this island more.
I say, because I have that eye, that maybe we could try to observe her and catch her, learn more about her.
He says, where is this eye?
It's facing all of the mounds in the center of the island.
And he says, "Should we retrieve it?"
If with your permission, I'd like to go farther onto this island.
Well, and he says, and he just gestures for you guys to follow him. And then he, as you go approach the trees that he's just emerged from when you were watching him come out, he turns to you and says, "Where is it?"
And I look around for it, and I find where I put it.
And he puts his hand up before you walk any further, and he says, "I will reach." He says that though. He says, "I will retrieve it. There are traps."
It like do I see it, or can I not like go far enough where I can see the inside of the trees?
You can try to go further in if you would like against his. He's not like being aggressive. He's trying to warn you kindly, I guess.
It's on the inside of one of these trees, facing the mounds.
Okay, so he's basically playing hot and cold with you, like he's checking around, asking you if he's heading in the right direction.
Okay, does he find it?
He eventually finds it, yes, and he plucks it down, and he
Nice.
walks back to you and hands it to you.
I take it. I said, "Sorry, we were spying on you."
He says, "In the future, I would appreciate it if you do not, but I can understand and make an exception this time."
I said, "Do it." Okay, so I can put it to try to catch the lady on the island.
I think that would be a good idea.
You think I should put it near the pit? Facing the pit, or do you think I should put it closer towards the water?
Whenever I was in the Enchanted Forest, I was on the south side of it. Maybe it's probably not best to ambush her on his home. Maybe we could set it up on the southern part of the Enchanted Forest, where she has a lot of trails coming in and out of the water. We can ambush her there.
Where did you go in the south part of the forest?
I followed this her footsteps, I guess, that led to a cave and then walked back out. So perhaps we can set it up inside the cave, outside the cave entrance, so we can know whenever she's about to leave the cave, and we can ambush her.
We don't know if we should be fighting this lady yet.
What do you think, Xonar? Do you think we should fight her, or should we capture her, or what should we do?
So this is from Xonar. Don't read into this as Mike. He says, "I fully intend to fight anyone that trespasses on my island with evil intent."
I trust Xonar, so I agree that evildoers must pay the price, and we should kill her, or knock her out at least.
I think we should try to apprehend her and see if she can reverse, or if she is even the cause of this troubled times.
But we gotta get her while she's walking around and before she gets into the water. So we have to have some idea. And I think the best place to do it is the Enchanted Forest, because then we have more time and distance before she gets to the water.
Xonar, can you leave this island, or have you ever left this island?
I have left this island. I am somewhat familiar with the forest, but I cannot leave the island now. I have no boat, and the water is proven to be dangerous to some of the animals here on the island.
What exactly does the water do to the animals?
From some of the animals have tried to go into it. Those animals have suffered burns almost to their skins, acidic type burns. Some animals have tried to drink it unknowingly. Those animals have become very, very ill, and with time have disappeared from the island.
I think it would be wise to leave the coin on the island to see if the lady returns.
All right, fine. You're the battle master. I'm just a silly druid.
That way,
We'll do your plan.
I was thinking we could also figure out what is going on with this pit. Have you noticed any occurrences with this pit, Xonar?
All I know is that once you are in the pit, you are in the pit.
Have any animals gone in the pit?
Yes, there have been animals that have gotten stuck in the pit, and despite anything I try, I am not able to free them. Which he says, I have not been able to try much. Only a couple have been within my reach to really help them. The others I've had to extend sticks and try to help from a distance, which to no prevail. They eventually sink completely in, he says.
What if we could push the lady into the sinking pit?
Or maybe she can enter the sinking pit just like she can enter the water.
So, we're scientists here. We could test this theory out. It won't hurt to try at least. We can have Corin sacrifice himself by pushing himself into that pit with her.
He can't walk right now. We could just throw him in.
He's pretty much a potato anyways for our party.
Let's see if Belle can go in the pit for us.
That would be fine with me.
Alright, so let's set up this eye somewhere.
I say, Xonar, would you mind if I have a few words with Tarn in private?
He says yes, but he also says before we go, or before you go about, or we, if it's okay, looking for a spot for this coin, do you think you would be willing to make a trade for transportation off of this island? And he looks at Tarn and he says, I have something that I am trying to pursue.
I just say yeah, you can. We don't have to trade. I'll let you take their boat.
We have a
I'll
spare.
get you,
We have a spare boat on the shores right now. We would have to go back and retrieve it for you.
well, how about we bring him back on our boat? I think we have room, and then we'll just give him your guys' boat.
That
You guys are really generous.
It's the same thing we're talking about here. It's just different ways of doing it.
Yeah, but how cool would it be to bring the Tiger Man to the village?
That's up to him.
Xonar, do you want to come to the village? I'm sure Reagan would like to speak with you.
May I come to your village in secret? I do not want my secret known.
You do not want to be known as a person, or you do not want to be known as the Island Man?
I don't want anyone to know me as the tiger on this island.
We can arrange that.
I have a cloak that you could wear as we go into the village. We could do it the dead of night, so you aren't seen.
He nods his head and he says, "This Reagan, do you think it's useful or necessary for me to speak to her?"
I'll let you go.
She has the most knowledge regarding magic in our town. However, she has also contracted some sort of dark magic on her leg, which is slowly consuming her.
And he just kind of sighs and sort of a sad kind of sigh for her.
So if you can, while you're in our village, if you could take a look at her, that'd be most appreciated.
I will definitely do so, but no promises that I can solve it for her. And then he says, "Come with me, come with me," and he kind of leads you towards what he knows to be the safest way through this line of trees to the mounds. Would you like to go with him?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys weave through this, and you see there's probably a cluster of 10 to 15 hillish mounds, and he leads you around to like consider the mounds, and then like an area that you walk into the mounds. So like a horseshoe shaped cluster of hills. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then you walk into the horseshoe part, and he has a hut, and he asks you. He says, "Would you mind coming in with me?"
I follow in.
I also follow him, but I'm more cautious.
Okay. He senses that from you. I guess, do you want to make it clear, or do you want to make it as subtle as you can?
I try to hide it.
Okay, so then he doesn't sense it. He walks in, and he looks at Tarn, and he says, "I realize you say that a trade is not necessary, but I don't use these items as much as I believe you may." And he walks over to a table, and he kind of gestures for you to come to him.
Just turn, or both.
No,
of us?
both of you.
Okay.
All right.
I
And,
walk over, still
mm.
kind of cautiously following Tarn.
And he says, "For your kindness, I would like to give you one of these items. Don't consider it a trade, Tarn. This is simply a gift from me to you. Or to both of you, though, like as a team."
I appreciate Xonar.
And he
Nice.
says, well, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
So I want to look at what's on the table.
Okay, so he kind of shows you this spread that he's created. They weren't already laying there. He's kind of gathered these things. And he says, he points to this first one, and it's like it's kind of a ghostly type presence. It's kind of foggy and ghost-like, and it's in the form of an arrow. And he says, he actually puts his hand on it, and his hand goes through the arrow. And he says, "Do not be fooled, though. This is an incredibly deadly arrow. It never misses. But it's the only arrow, or it's only one. You would have to retrieve it every time you've ever shoot it. But it never misses its target." And then he looks at the next one, and it's just a ring. Just a gold ring. And he says, "I found this on the island about a week ago, and I honestly don't know what it does. It looks valuable, but I have no idea if it's magical or if it's simply a ring." And then he looks at the third thing, and there are two rings that are bound. They're kind of like this, like magic rings, kind of the way they hook to each other. And he takes them, he picks them up, and he hands one to Tarn, or they're still dangling, and he kind of holds it out for Tarn. Oh, well, now he can't hear me.
You lost him.
I'm about to sneeze 1 second. I don't want you to see me sneeze. Okay, we're good.
So they're like dangling, and he asks you to, he kind of holds it out and kind of gestures for you to grab the other.
Okay.
And when you grab it, it comes apart. Like, he could not do it. Like, he shows you that he can't pull them apart, but when you grab it, they come apart real smoothly and easily, no resistance. And he tells you to put it on your finger.
Alright, I put it on my finger.
And it's too big when you put it on, but when it gets down to where you want it, it sizes itself for you. And then you don't hear, Amarillo, you don't hear anything at all. You're just watching this. And you don't hear anything, Tarn. But you can telepathically hear him say, these are a telepathic link to the two wearers. And then, do you want to respond to that in any way?
I think to myself, "Ooh, this is pretty fucking cool."
And he goes, "This is pretty fucking cool." And you still don't hear anything, Amaryl. It's just like the two of them are just like saying this back and
I'm just
thinking
kind of
of
looking around, like,
And
what's it do?
and then he takes it off and he hands it to you, Amaryl, and you put it on, and it doesn't work, Tarn. There's no connection.
Is it still too big for me?
No, it fits you, but it does not allow you to link. So
Like,
then
oh.
he said, and then he speaks out loud. He says, "Take them off and put
All
them
right.
together." So you two do this, and they link, and then they won't come apart unless the two of you. And it's so he basically explains, like, whoever the two people are that pull these two rings apart can put them on and communicate telepathically. And then he asks for them back, and then he lays them down, and he says, "Take your choice."
Just to clarify that we get one total or two total, like he gets one, I get one.
One total. I want it to be the most difficult choice you can make.
Tarn, what are you thinking?
If you had that ring on, you would know.
Yeah, you technically don't know that, Amaryl. If you can try not to be biased in your decision. You can ask questions, but
What
So
did those rings do? Did they do anything? Or are they just
I guess technically I did say he explained it, my bad.
Yeah. Okay.
He did explain it.
did you not listen to Xonar when he explained it?
I zoned out, that's my bad.
So we know what these two, the never miss arrows and telepathically speaking rings, do. We don't know what that other one does. And I like a good mystery.
Could be nothing.
It could be nothing, but
So
it could be something cool.
what could we possibly use the telepath one for? We could use it for long distance communication.
With who?
We could give Xonar one so we can communicate with him across from the
Was-
island.
I don't want to be intruding on Zonar's thoughts.
Yeah,
He has
I'm just saying if that's what he wishes.
we need to get that one ring that we have no idea what it does.
Okay, and I'm thinking.
I
So,
love this. I love this.
Corn and I are both rangers.
You really want that arrow, don't you?
I'm just weighing all of our options here.
How often are you gonna go and be able to pick up that arrow out of something?
Well, if it's at our target, then we should probably.
How do you know it won't snap though? This ring won't snap.
Anything can snap.
No, not this ring.
What
Torn,
What-
Amaryl. We need this ring.
you want the golden ring?
We gotta have this ring.
What if it is just a golden ring though?
It might be a gold ring, but it might also be really super fucking cool.
Or it could be super fucking bad.
It could be either of those. And we're just gonna have to just accept that risk
Or
and
it
go
could
with
just-
it.
It could just be a ring.
It could just be a ring.
You just.
Are you guys
want the ring.
really having a hard time making this decision?
You want.
I already made my decision in my mind.
I think we will take the ring and you can wear it.
Alright, I put it on.
Currently, nothing extraordinary happens.
We're just kind of both waiting for something.
I'm
to
going like
happen.
this right now.
The only thing, Tarn, is you feel like it is not ordinary, but you don't have anything to go on.
My precious.
I'm gonna just look at Amaryl's like it might have just been a ring. But we made our choices and we gotta stick with the graves we
We could. pawn it. We
dug
could pawn
ourselves.
Xonar says, "You have not left yet, Tarn, and being the only other druid I have seen in decades, If you would like to exchange it, you can. If not, it's yours.
Thank you. I'm gonna keep this one because it seems really cool. Let's see. Mystical ring.
Adding a little, you're buffing it up there. Really fucking mystical.
I put 3 question marks beside it.
Okay.
Alright, Emerald, that was really selfless of what you did right there. Let me have this ring. So I'll give you one, I owe you one. But no sexual favors.
And Xonar kind of goes,
I do druid speak. I said, once again, not sure about these guys. That's all I said.
he goes, I understand. And druid.
I just kind of look at both of them awkwardly.
Like this, like, just like really innocent. Yeah, he says, well, why don't you go ahead and look for somewhere to put the coin? And he leads you back out of the hut and leads you through the safe part of the path through the trees and then heads towards wherever you would like.
So, Xonar, you do think we should make it face the pit?
I know that this pit, I get a sense of dark magic from this pit, but I just have not had an opportunity to catch a glimpse of this figure really doing anything of substantial use or information.
Do you think it would be beneficial for me to watch it?
He says, it does. I think that would scratch a curiosity that I have, but I'm not sure what your plans are.
We're just looking for answers to save our village. And if this can help us figure out who this lady is, then I'm all for it.
He says, all I know is that with an item that precious, make sure that you do not lose it or it does not get into the wrong hands.
I say, with that being said, would you mind not watching as I place it?
He says, you don't trust me, Amarillo.
I just met you, and I also just met Tarn, so Tarn should also not be looking.
Tarn, what do you think?
I speak druid at this point. This kid is kind of a fucking weirdo. Just roll with it. He might be a serial killer, and we might be his only friends.
Xonar nods and turns.
I also turn.
And I go and pretty much place it on the same tree I did with the mound, but facing the opposite direction, facing the pit. And I make sure that it is not super noticeable.
Okay.
I say, I appreciate it. You may turn and face whichever direction you'd like.
And Xonar says, yes, Amasa. He says Xonar turns and he says, should we be off? And he looks at Tarn more specifically and says, I will only briefly have time to stop at your island or at your village. I would like to try to pursue what I'm after.
What time is it currently? Like, is it dark nighttime so he can come to the village, or is there enough shadows?
I would say it's around 7. Or let's say 6, and again, it's late in the fall, so it gets dark late or early, so I would say it's getting dusk.
Okay.
Alright, let's do this. We got our friend in our boat, we got your sneaky eye pointed at the pit. Let's get him to the village, get him the boat, let him go see Reagan, and
Call it a night.
we'll call it there. Let's do this. Alright, so I guess we're gonna walk back to the boat where Corn is asleep on the job.
When you arrive at the boat, Corin is just sitting at the boat right now.
Looking around with his blood dart.
Yeah, and he looks surprised that Xonar is with you.
I'm gonna be like, yo, old man, chill.
He's like, I've had enough of you, boy.
I say, Xonar, this is Corin. Corin, this is Xonar.
He says, hello, Corin. Are you also a druid? And Corin says, I hadn't even heard the word until today.
Why is everyone talking about druids?
And
I say,
okay.
and then I'll explain to Corin what we plan to do, how we plan to take Xonar to the town and give him a boat and just keep it under wraps that he's with us pretty much.
And he says, by all means, and he's currently a little bit sprawled out, so he kind of like sits up and he's feeling a little bit better, and his leg's still pretty sore, but he kind of puts himself into position to allow someone to sit beside him.
Is he in good enough shape to give us the running start?
No.
Okay, so we all get into the water, or I get into the boat. I sit in the back.
That's where Corin is. You want to sit with him?
Yeah, I'll sit with him.
Okay.
Alright, I'll sit with Xonar.
Okay, and which duo is going? Actually, I guess they'd be fastened. So the front, Tarn and Xonar are rowing.
Alright, and we take the oars and we push off, and we start rowing to our village.
Okay, so about halfway across the lake, water starts to seep up, kind of beads of water, not huge amounts. It's not gushing in, just little beads around your feet.
Well, this is entirely impractical. Can we just lay Corn down and have him soak up the water?
No, I don't think Corin would allow that.
I think we might need to be going. Might need to go a little faster.
Yeah, I'll row faster than Master.
Amaril's whipping you. Is that all you want to do in response to it? Is speed up?
Yeah.
So the beads of the water are starting to like move. Yeah, like once they come up through, they start to like drift towards wherever the slant would be. They're moving back towards the back of the boat. I would say in all, there's 20 to 30 beads, like little tiny holes of beads coming up. So there's a very, very small puddle at the back of the boat. And
how close are we?
You're about 3/4 of the way there now.
I'm gonna exert myself and put my back into it and go all out. And I'm gonna be like just rowing as fast as I can.
Okay.
Because I don't want to get my booties wet. I don't want to get Corn wet. Amarillo, I'm not exactly sure if he wants to be wet or if he's already wet. The Xonar definitely do not want to be wet.
Okay. So
What's the talk?
I need everybody to do a dexterity saving throw, including Xonar. Okay.
Alright. I rolled a 3. Yikes.
I get 14.
I'm gonna give Corin an automatic pass here since he's not here to defend himself. Xonar rolled the highest. He's safe. Amaril's safe. During your exertion of trying to row fast here, Tarn, just a small splash from the oars coming up out of the water quickly gets on your shirt, on your arm sleeve, and it instantly burns through the shirt and it stings your arm. So I take 1 damage.
I yell, "Some bitch!"
And so now you're Are you guys heading back to the dock that you originally came from?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to the dock, and you notice there's no way you wouldn't notice this. The other two boats that had been tied to the dock are all you see of them now are the front wedge of the boat sticking up out of the water, still tied to the dock. Both of them are like that.
All right, so we gotta pull this boat out of the water, and we're gonna have to get some tar, and we're gonna have to rub some tar on the bottom of the boat to try to fix up the burns. Okay,
We get out of the boat.
and let's try to pull it out. So that's a strength check.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I rolled actually an 18.
I rolled a 17.
So everybody but Tarn is helping with this, and you guys pull it up super easily. Do you do it? How do you pull it up? Explain how you pull it up here.
So So we're at the dock, and so I grab one end, and I'm guessing Amaryl grabs the other end, and we kind of extend it, like pull it up, and we step back, and we set it down on the dock.
Make sure that none of the water gets on us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you set it down on the dock. It's still, it's obviously dripping water, and it has some water in it.
I want to turn it over so the water drains out.
Okay, I need you to do a dexterity saving throw, because at this point you'll be working with a little bit of water.
19.
So you guys are actually, what's yours, Amaryl?
Oh, I have to do it too?
Yeah, you're working together here.
Nat 20.
Wow. You guys just like, and it goes, and as it's in its spin cycle, it dries. But you guys just carefully turn it over, and the water, where do you dump the water that's in it?
I'd imagine it'd be like draining off the dock and into the water again.
Okay. So you get this thing clear of any standing water, but there's still just little bits of black water, not puddles by any means, but just streaks of black water on the inside, and there's a little bit of water on where it's been in the actual lake, but very little at this point. It's not drenched.
Well, we did a really good job getting that boat out and flipping it, Amaryl. That was some good teamwork,
Yeah,
man.
we're super
Seems
strong.
like you aren't just worthless after all.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Old guy couldn't do that.
yeah, us young bucks, we're just ready. Anyways, I gave Xonar my shadow cloak to put on while we're in the village.
Okay, so he kind of puts it on, and he says, "What exactly do I do with this?"
Just wear it and just walk in the shadows, and nobody sees you.
Okay. He puts this wry smile on. No, he seems trustworthy about it. He nods his head and moves towards the nearest shadow, and then he's just gone. But then he says, "Can you see me?"
Who said that?
I start walking towards Reagan's house.
Okay. So just through the ability to jump 50 feet, Xonar is able to find shadows along the way to stay with you as you go.
Alright, so we get to Reagan, I guess. And I want to introduce Reagan to Xonar.
Okay.
Hey, Mom, this is our tiger friend. I know you said not to make friends with tigers, but here we are. Anyways, his name is Xonar, and hopefully he can look at your leg and see if he can figure out something.
Do you guys want to do this interaction tonight?
Let's save it for Drew.
Yeah.
Okay.
He seems more invested in her leg more so than anybody else.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Alright, that was a good one, boys.